Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. I appreciate you taking our time to check out the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. All appreciate it. Now, we've talked about a lot of different fighting games, and fortunately for me, Capcom just announced a new series of games, the Capcom Fighting Collection, so you get a whole bunch of games all in one, which prompted me to want to bring up one of the games from that list, and that's called Pocket Fighter. So what y'all gotta understand with Pocket Fighters for me is this is one of the most uninhibited Capcom Street Fighter crossover games in the sense of it is all fun. Like there is a increased absurdity in all of the moves. Everything is over the top. A lot of the moves are like the Marvel vs. Capcom style moves, so it's all extra bunch of hits and things like that. The cool thing is the way the game plays is it's a one-on-one fighter, right? But each of your moves, every character has 3 main moves and they have levels to them, and you get gems by either fighting or opening up chests during combat. So you can make your move start off as like the basic Hadouken, and then by the time you get it to level 3 during the match, it'll be doing like multiple hits. It'll look like the original Super Hadouken from Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So I thought that was really cool. When I first played this as a kid, it was like, oh, so we can do not only the traditional style moves, but we can do all of these super moves, but they're just like your regular input. All you gotta do is level up each of the moves. And you still have characters like Zangief, who was really cool on this because of the dashing. And then you have these like input commands because the controls are much more simple than the traditional Street Fighter, where you have the light, medium, heavy for punches and kicks, and then whatever other variations where you press multiple buttons together. This game is punch, kick, special move, and then your taunt. So you have the ability to input these like punch, kick combos, and each character has some sort of like grab version of it. So if somebody's blocking, you can break their guard. So there was a immediate amount of strategy that this game had that, you know, I thought was really cool, and it made it that much more fun to try to get better at it. Because a lot of times if a game plays like another version of a game, I'm only gonna put so much work into trying to learn all the nuances if it plays very similar. So like with Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 2 Turbo, there's not really much going on different there, right? A little speed up, you know, some air moves now, but for the most part, it's the same game. But with Pocket Fighters, it was like, oh, I know all of these characters. You got people from Darkstalkers like Morgan, you have Felicia, but you have people like Ibuki from Street Fighter Third Strike. So it's like, they put, you know, a little bit of everybody. They even got Tessa from Red Earth on here, who's also part of the Capcom collection. So we got that game coming too. And one of the few times during the late 90s, early 2000s where Morgan isn't using the same sprite that they use for like 5 different games. But you know, visually fantastic. And this is the PlayStation version that I'm playing because that's the version I had. I got this game from a pawn shop for like $12, and I was like, all right, you know, if it's terrible, then whatever, $12. But if it's good, we hit a nice little lick, and that's what this game was. They got arcade mode where you do different stories for each character. I thought that was really cool to have. Everybody has their own little like joke scenario. So like Akuma has to leave his island where he trains all day because it's becoming an exclusive resort. You know, Zangief is going to meet Felicia and ask her to come back to Russia with him. As like a display for his country. I believe Tessa's trying to figure out certain spells and things like that. She needs certain items. So it was like everybody has these little goofy versions of themselves. And I mean, you know, you still got people like Ryu who's out here trying to find the strongest warrior and all that cool stuff. So, you know, you got some of the Street Fighter lore still intact, but obviously this game is not canon in the least bit. And then, you know, visually, everybody's the chibi versions of themselves. Akuma makes a joke about him having stubby arms and legs and still being able to wreck shop. You know, they got Dan in there, who's of course turned up to 10, which is my favorite version of Dan. I love when he goes, you know, to take it up a notch, because he's already goofy and fun and entertaining. But when they, you know, push the limits with it, I always think that's the best version of him. I always want Dan to be just super unnecessarily cocky and throwing out autographs and just, you know, hamming it up. And that's the basis of this game. Everything is just over the top. Everything is as many hits as possible, you know. Just they just went all the way with it. And the fact that it was like originally an actual puzzle fighting game, which is also in the Capcom collection, but they turned it into an actual fighting game, I always loved that about this. And you know, the background's got all these cameos from these different characters, from Darkstalkers, from Street Fighter, from Red Earth. and any other Capcom games that they want. Like, you know, you see the guy from Ghosts and Goblins in the background of a level and things like that. You know, just those little small details just make the game that much more fun. And it's just, that's the whole basis of this game. That's why I love it. It's not the serious fighter, but this is one of the most fun you can have, especially with a group of friends. This is definitely one of those pass the controller around type of games. And, you know, we gotta shout that out. Now, I will be playing a lot of Pocket Fighter online when this collection drops. Believe me, I'm trying to hit the top of the leaderboards in this, because this is my jam. And it's not the most difficult game, and that's another reason I really enjoy it. It's not about being the most technical and tough game to play. It's just, you know, you jump in, have fun with it, throw some stuff around, you know, make you sit down at the table with Zangief, have a nice dinner that he interrupts by flipping the table. You know, all those cool things that you look for in a fighting game. Now, I know a lot of people have not played this fighting game, but, you know, some of you may have. If so, who's your favorite character? You know, did you enjoy this? Was it one of those games you turned your nose up at because you're an elite fighting game player? Or did you try to have some fun and enjoy yourself for once? I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. As always, appreciate y'all watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Have fun. Be safe. Peace.